So that's almost half. And as Gerry mentioned earlier, the burnout zone is the zone down here. And when we're burned out, you know, we've that lack of energy, we feel that sense of hopelessness, that sense of, you know, we get overwhelmed all the time. But what is stress? So I'll get Gerry to flick on there. So basically, it can be defined as an internal reaction to what's happening inside you or to something external, to something around you. And when we get stressed, what happens is, we've all heard of that fight or flight reaction. And what happens is, we get stressed, so we feel these, you know, everything is too much on my plate. And, you know, all of these thoughts go around and we feel the pressure. And what happens is, chemically in the body, we get this physical reaction going on, which is called fight or flight. And as Gerry mentioned earlier, stress isn't all bad. We do need stress in our lives because we need it to get out of bed, to get dressed, to have that motivation to go to work, to go to the gym, to go for a walk, whatever that may be. However, stress only becomes destructive when it comes out of balance or out of context. So back in the day, you know, when the caveman was, you know, running for, you know, fighting the bears and the animals, or, you know, trying to capture their food, their meat, they had this fight or flight, and they had this excess release of, or neurotransmitters, which we call noradrenaline, and cortisol and adrenaline. And that was fine when you needed it, because you needed that excess adrenaline to fight and to run. But what's happening in today's world is we're constantly feeling stressed, but we're not running anymore. So we have these hormones flooding through our bloodstream, but we're sitting at a desk. You know, we see all these emails come in, and we get these physical neurotransmissions, these stress hormones flooding into our bloodstream from our adrenal glands, which sit on top of the kidneys. Yet we're not utilising it, or we're not burning it off, because we're not fighting and we're not running. So what happens is, on a day-to-day basis, we're all different. So we can react differently to stress. So we can react in one of two ways. We can either fight, like this guy here, or we flight and we run. So depending on your personality, or depending on the state you're in at this moment in time when stress comes on, you can be a person who either fights. So, you know, you get all these emails and you want to challenge the person, and you go, well, let me get at him, or let me get at her, and you fight. And it brings up anger, it can bring up frustration, it can bring up irritability, you know, fisticuffs come on and you want to go at it. So there, what happens when we get this adrenaline being released? So we get anger, we get frustrated, restlessness, irritability, you know, anger. But sometimes, depending on your personality, if you feel overwhelmed, if you get stressed, you can actually go the other way. Flight, where you kind of go in on yourself. So you get feelings, that's when your noradrenaline is released. What happens? You get worried, you get anxious, kind of a sense of hopelessness, a fear, you know, an inability to focus, an inability to clearly think, and everything becomes too big and overwhelming. So that's what's happening inside the body when we get stressed. Physically, we have adrenaline and noradrenaline. Yes, we do need them, but it's in what context and what proportion. And in today's world, when we're not plugging in, or when we're not, you know, or unplugging, should I say, we're getting this all the time in the body. Can you just go back for a second there, Gerry? Sorry. Thank you. Just before I move on, so we have adrenaline, we have noradrenaline. We also have a third hormone that gets released, which is our cortisol. And that's our stress hormone. And you might have heard of that one. It's thrown around quite a lot now as well, because we're getting more of it released into our system. And what's happening is, when we're stressed, people often think that it's an external reaction, or it's an internal reaction to something that's happening outside of myself. So, an exam is coming up, I can't control that. Or the work email is coming in, I can't control that. Or the bank is calling me and because it's financial stress, or something outside of you. However, stress can also be the absence of something as much as the presence of something. And what I mean by that is, it can be an internal reaction within yourself. The absence of rest brings on stress. The absence of play or fun will bring on stress. The absence of recovery, as Gerry talked about, will bring on stress in the body. So it's important to know that stress isn't always out there, that we have a lot to do and we can take responsibility from our own internal reactions and our own lifestyles, the style we're living our life in. And whether we're creating, whether we're adding stuff into our life that would enable us to be less stressed and have more ease, which will then create less disease, less stress, less illness in the body. Okay, thanks, Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. So how then does stress show up in the body? So as I mentioned, we have the chemical reaction that's going on in our adrenal glands. So that's your noradrenaline, your adrenaline, and your cortisol, which are stress hormones that get released and get spread into our bloodstream. When that happens, as I mentioned earlier, the cortisol, which we have floating around now more than usual or in a higher abundance, what happens when we have an excess of cortisol in our bloodstream is it drives inflammation in the body. It's one of the biggest drivers of disease and illness. So when we have excess cortisol, we have excess inflammation. And now there's so much studies being done that inflammation is the root cause of all of our illnesses. So stress, believe it or not, drives physical manifestation of disease. So then, mentally, how does it show up in the body? So as I mentioned earlier, our mood changes. So when we're stressed, we can either go fight, anger, frustration, irritability, or we go flight, depression, low mood, anxiety, fear, hopelessness. So all of this mentally has an impact on the body. When we look at, that's mentally, chemically, but we also have the physical impact that stress has on our bodies. And we think of, we work our way down through the body. So if we start with the top of the head, we get headaches. So if we're very stressed, people can be prone to headaches, pain in the head. As you move down and we go into the heart, when you're stressed, your blood changes, your heart rate goes up. You get those palpitations. Then whenever you get stressed and feel like their chest is going to just bounce out of the heart's going to bounce out of their chest. So your heart rate increases. And with that, blood pressure increases. And when heart rate and blood pressure are constantly increased, so if you're in a state of chronic stress, you're over time, you're that underlying cortisol flooding through the system all day, every day, what's happening is you're going to get a build-up of this heart rate, build-up of blood pressure, which will then eventually result in heart disease and heart attack. And I spent 10 years working as a pharmacist, and the increase in heart disease over the last 10 years has been outstanding. You know, it's really, really one of our massive diseases that is harming us as a nation. And stress is a massive culprit and driver of it. So then if we move down and we look into the digestive system and the immune system, I think this is really, really important. It's the only key thing to take away from today. When you are stressed, your digestive system does not work. It does not function properly. So if you're sitting at your desk, if you're emailing, if you're in the car, if you're on the phone and you're eating, you are going to be in a higher state of stress. Therefore, your digestive system will not be activated and not be functioning at its best, and you're not going to digest your food. When you don't digest your food, you end up getting this fermentation, you end up, the acid and everything just goes out of whack, and you end up getting stomach problems, leaky gut, which affects your immune system. So when we are stressed, and the reason behind why your digestive system doesn't function when you're stressed is because when you're in that fight or flight, that your body will go to what it needs most. So if you think back to the caveman, when he's in that state where he has to either take on the bear, he has to fight, or he has to run. Your blood will move to its heart because it needs it. It needs to pump, it needs it to be energized, to really fight or flight. So it takes the blood away from your digestive system and your immune system because that's not the key area that it's needed in that time of crisis. So So blood comes away from the digestive system, therefore it's not heightened, you don't have the fire in your gut to digest it. So that's just a little bit of science behind it. So digestively, and then what can happen is stomach cramps, reflux, nausea, all of that goes with it. And as we move down the body, so if we're in a higher state of stress, we have more infertility problems, lower libido, and more menstrual pain, cramps for women as well. And then overall, we get more joint pain, aches and pain, lower bone density, and our immune system overall is affected. So if we're in a chronic state of stress, your immune system is down, well then you can't fight off illness as well as you would, as well as we should be able to do if we're more in a centered, calm state. So I hope that just kind of gives you an infographic and a visual as to how stress is more than just the emotional side of it. It physically has an impact on the body as well, on our health. Yeah, okay, thank you. So now that we've talked about stress, we know what it is and how it manifests in the body mentally, physically, emotionally, but what can we do to help reduce it? So these are very practical tips, and Gerry has touched on some of them already, but to really break it down to, it doesn't have to be complicated, doesn't have to be expensive, doesn't have to include prescription medication, obviously with the time and place, but at the get-go, here and now, what are the simplest things that I can do and practically take away that I can implement into my life to reduce stress on an everyday basis? So the first one is your physical activity. So when we move the body, we actually move out stress. We move out anxiety, we move out tension, tightness that we're holding in the body. When you move, you have to move that out of the body. But also you're producing your endorphins, which is your endogenous morphine. So if you think of morphine as a painkiller, endorphin is like you're making your own morphine in your body. So it's reducing pain and it's increasing that sense of feel-good factor. So physical activity. And again, that can be just getting out for some fresh air on your lunch break, taking 5 minutes to just walk around the block, giving yourself an extra 10 minutes in the morning to walk the dog. Like, these are little things. They don't have to be massive gym membership things. So it's just incorporating little and often. Diet and nutrition. So again, I talked about nutrition the last time I was here, but just to recap, if you reduce the amount of stimulants in your body on a regular daily basis, you will reduce the heightened irritability and anxiety. Because what I'm saying, you don't have to stop them entirely, but maybe try to substitute. So if you're having 3 coffees in the day, maybe in the middle of the day you substitute your coffee with a herbal tea or some hot water and lemon. Because what you're doing is the more sugar, caffeine, alcohol, stimulants you're putting into the body, if you can imagine what they're doing, they're stimulating the body. They're revving it up. And while that's okay in short term, but if you're constantly bombarding your body and your bloodstream with more stimulants on top of the stress that's already there, it's just causing this volcano of irritability, and your nervous system is just going blah, 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 and then you wonder then why you can't wind down when you get home in the evening to go to bed. So just reducing the stimulants. Breathing, power of breath, meditation, yoga, and mindfulness. Amazing tip, tool that you don't need anything for, only yourself and your lungs. And if people kind of go, oh, the sound of meditation, that's not for me, it's absolutely for everybody, and it's not about sitting under a tree and, leg crossed with a robe over your head. Absolutely not at all. Meditation or mindfulness or, breathing is the basic fundamental of life. It's the basic and ultimate gift that you've been given when you were born is your breath. That's why we're all here, we're still alive, because we're breathing. But when we breathe deeply and when we become aware of the breath, so if we stop just for, we get into the car in the morning or at your desk before you open your laptop or before you make a cup of tea, and you stop and you take 3 deep conscious breaths on your belly, breathing in, breathing out. Scientifically, you go from your sympathetic nervous system, which is the stress state, the fight or flight, and you can actually switch that over, here comes the science part, to the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest, digest, and repair. So your nervous system actually can flick from one to the other with 3 to 5 deep breaths. That's all it takes. 30 seconds to a minute. And you can go from a heightened state of stress and anxiety and irritability to a calmer, more focused state. Doesn't cost anything, don't need to be anywhere, don't need any props. It's the simplest thing, and it's one of the most powerful things. And if you start to bring that into your daily life and start to practice it regularly, you would be amazed the difference it would make. Okay, so just moving on, morning and nighttime rituals. Again, Gerry kind of has touched on this with the code, calendar of daily events. So the way you start your day, and I love the sign you have down there, it says, I can't remember exactly what it says, but it's something about the way you start your day is the way your day will move on. So morning rituals are very important. And again, little tiny things that will dramatically change the way you go about your day. So in the morning, can you get up a few minutes earlier? Can you do some stretching? Can you do some breathing? Can you journal? Get all the crap out of your head and just get it onto pen and paper. Can you get out for a little walk? Can you get up a little bit earlier and make your breakfast at home? Can you drink some hot water and lemon in the morning before your coffee or your tea or your breakfast to help digest the system and to help stimulate that immune system, the elimination system, to get everything moving? Can you, when you're stuck in traffic, instead of beeping the horn and giving out, can you just take 3 deep breaths? You can't change it anyway, so you might as well, you can change how you react. You can't change any of the cars outside of you. So you might as well change how you react and feel nicer and calmer than angry and giving out. Tiny things in the morning. And then the same at night time, Gerry talked about the deactivation routine, so what you do before you go to bed to try and switch off. You know, less on your phone, less on the TV, maybe reading, maybe meditating, maybe taking some deep breaths, you know, maybe listening to an audio, maybe listening to a guided meditation, and you know, having a shower, having a bath, things like that that help just to wind down the system so you get a better night's sleep. When you get a better night's sleep, you're not as stressed, you're not as exhausted the next day, and it's a vicious cycle, but that keeps going. Self-care, spirituality, that again, I touched on that the last day I was here. That's anything that gets you to stop, gets you to unplug, get off the treadmill of life, and just take a couple of minutes each and every day for yourself, to reconnect back to yourself, and to hear all the noise that goes on in your head, to feel how you're physically feeling the body, and helping you to release and remove that stress out of the body. So that can be anything from a walk with the dog, a bath, reading a good book, meeting up with a friend, having a good laugh, you know, things that just help you to re-energize, revitalize, and unplug from the external stresses for a few minutes every day. Gratitude, positive psychology, self-talk, affirmations, and visualization. So Gerry probably will tell you more about that, but that is just basically helping to go into the different parts of the brain, as you mentioned earlier. Training your mind to be more positive, to be more grateful. And it's simply down to your awareness. You know, what is the story you're telling yourself every day? Or traffic is really bad, or I haven't time to go for a run, or I haven't time to do this. That's the excuse, the story we tell ourselves. So if we were to tell ourselves a different story, create a different voice, be grateful. You know, I am grateful I have a car to get to work instead of giving out about the traffic. I'm grateful I have 2 legs, I can go out for a walk and a run. I'm grateful I have hot water in my shower. I can go down and make a cup of tea. All of these tiny things we take for granted, but if we were to really think about them, they're massive things. And it's just shifting that perception and shifting that awareness a little bit. Do you want to jump in there, Jim?
No. Just before we finish.
Yeah.
Maybe just stand up just on this last piece. I want to do a small little exercise in this.
So just stand up for a second. I'm going to talk about 3 important things that I hope you take away. Sheep, clouds, and rabbit holes. Promise me you'll think about these during the week. Sheep. Sheep? Okay, what sound does a sheep make? Louder. Louder. What does a cloud do? Show me. Show me. Yeah, sure. You're not showing it. Yes. What's a rabbit hole feel like? Imagine you go down a rabbit hole. What would it feel like?
Dark.
Dark. Cold.
Show me. Tight.
Tight. What would your body language look like if you were going down a rabbit hole, right?
Sore.
Show me what you would look like. Tight, tense. Okay, so when we talk about self-talk, the words you use are so important. So remember to talk about the power of the breath. Everything we need is at our disposal. Whatever marketing agencies tell you about headache tablets and everything else, it's at your disposal. Your words are so important. Your subconscious is listening to everything you say, everything you think. Every word not only means something, but it has an emotion linked. So when you think of thoughts, you can sometimes stop the amount of thoughts that you have. But you have to decide one of three things. Is it a sheep? A sheep is a cloud with legs. Is it a cloud? A cloud is something you look at, observe, but you have no connection to it. You know commitment to it. Doesn't even change you emotionally, so you walk by. So for instance, if I walk down there, and I see someone walking down and they look at me, and they look frustrated, they walk off. That's a cloud. I just keep walking. If I want to turn that into a sheep and give it legs, she looks frustrated. What's she frustrated about? I'm going over time. She must be annoying me. Oh geez, I'm eating her now later. Suddenly, I've given it legs, I've given a negative thought or a fearful thought, I've given it legs and I've started to walk with it now. It's taking my attention for 5 seconds, or 50 seconds, or 5 minutes. What should have been just a cloud, I've turned into a sheep and it's walked on. The problem with the sheep, believe it or not, the sheep will lead you down a rabbit hole. And when you're running up a field, and you see the rabbit, he will go down a rabbit hole, but he will go down the right rabbit. Hands up here who's secretly a rabbit. Anybody here say, I'm actually really a rabbit, not a human being. Human beings do not believe in do not live or belong in rabbit holes. A rabbit hole is a train of thought that's dark, tight, makes you tense, and leads you nowhere. It's something you have no control over. When you give a negative thought or frustrated thought enough time, enough legs, it brings you down a rabbit hole. And on any given day, there's 50,000 rabbit holes you could go down. 50 different emails, 50 different things. There's lots of different people who are showing you rabbit holes. The ability to know which ones I need to go down and which ones I don't. But the minute I give a thought legs, the minute I entertain it, the minute I internalize it, the minute I add emotion to it, it sucks me into a rabbit hole, and I'm in there for the next 5 minutes or the next 10 minutes, and I've lost that time. And as I'm thinking about that, just like Greg went down the rabbit hole, it affects us physically. We look tight, we get up tense. It drives stress. The biggest mental skill you can develop is how many of my own thoughts. First thing is, not every thought you have is real, believe it or not. Not every thought you have is true, and not every thought you have is important right now. Not everything that happens around you needs you to get emotionally committed and connected with it. The ability to know what are the clouds, what are the sheep, what are the rabbit holes I'm willing to go down, and which ones am I not. That is what composure is about, that is what concentration is about, that's what being in the now is. Because you can't stop sometimes the amount of distractions happening around you. Sometimes you can't stop the thoughts that pop into your head. So if we're willing to let certain thoughts go, not go after them, not chase them, they dissolve fairly quickly, and another one comes in. And that's plenty of everyone. If we're using positive language, if we're talking about the things I can control, if I'm talking about solutions, the things I talk about become bigger in my life. The words you use becomes the house you live in. So when you're in a meeting, if we want solutions, if we want fun, if we want energy, that's where it has to be. because the words you use drive the thoughts. So, does that make sense? Everyone knows the difference between a sheep and a cloud? Yeah? Everyone know Greg looks like when he's in a rabbit hole. So any given day, to have the ability to mentally select which thoughts I go after, which ones I don't, which ones mean nothing. No emotional connection to that. And just before I entertain something, before I get aggressive, before I get angry, before I get frustrated, is that a rabbit hole I want to spend the next 15 minutes down or not? And if it's not, let them go. That's their problem, that's their anger, that's their opinion, that's their life. Great expression, not my monkey, not my circus. Not mine. The ability to be present to what really is important on any given moment, that is mental fitness. The ability to select what you give your mental energy to at any moment is mental fitness. That's that sense of calm, that sense of energy, that sense of perspective. I'm not my environment, I'm not you, and I'm not you, so I decide what I go after and what I don't. I hope that makes sense. Miriam, I just...
So, Gerry just kind of recapped it there, but if anyone has any questions or anything, do please ask. But I hope we've kind of explained the root of it, you know, how it exists, why it exists, and how it can manifest, and then basic tips and tools that you can do to try and to manage it, to combat it, or prevent it from starting in the first place. I think that's the key. If we can prevent it from starting, that's the goal.
We can send on audios if you're willing to commit to using them. We can send on lots of tools. Now that we've identified what stress is and the ability it has, we'd love to send you on tools, and we'd love to hear. So if someone's willing to listen to an audio for 3 or 4 times a week, we'd love to get some feedback. If we send on 12 tips to mental health, or 12 tips to better health and reducing stress, we'd love someone to say, I'm going to take this on 12 weeks. And I'm going to take one every week. You get back to us, we'll coach you, we'll support you in that. We'll send you on loads of tips and tools. And if you grab something and start using it, give us some feedback. We can shape it, twist it. Would you be committing to small little things, making time for simple things, consistently, COD, calendar of daily events. So we'll make the tools and the resources available, and if people decide to use them, tell us you're using them, and we'll track you as you go, and we'd love to hear how you get on.
Brilliant. Gerry, thanks. A round of applause, please, for sharing your... Fantastic. Thanks very much. I think the 2 talks over the last couple of weeks have tied in nicely together, the nutrition and the stress overall. It's brilliant to get an insight into the background of what's causing, what's creating, the tips, what we can do to prevent. So once again, I think it's been brilliant. I don't know about anybody else here, but I certainly would welcome more of these kind of talks in the organisation at a time where we're going through a lot of change, a lot of projects, a lot of high intense work overall. So it's brilliant to keep these reminders in there, and don't just leave them there on the screen, bring them back home, and as Gerry said, bring them back in, don't go down rabbit holes into the emails and everything else that comes. So use the opportunity when the chance avails. Just a couple of things to say thanks. It's not straightforward. I was just trying to put this together. So Anya Grealish has done a lot of work in terms of trying to get the food on for today. So there's sandwiches and a small bit of food in afterwards for anybody that wants that. Please avail, or there'll be a lot of food left going to waste. Thanks to the Kaplan team, MJ and marketing, for setting up here as well, and Emma for video. And this is going up on the Facebook page. So if you forget something and want to go back and look at it again today or tomorrow, it'll be up there and you can dial in. And hopefully Miriam and Gerry can share the slides as well, and we'll send them out as well as long as the last time. So we hope to do a few more of these kind of sessions, and as Gerry mentioned, if you put something up, please feedback into your line manager, your director of your area. It's great to see Mark here as part of the ELT as well. But just endorse the positive feedback that you've got over these 2 sessions, and bring it back in, and please feed it back as well. Because anybody I've talked to in the organisation has been crying out for some of this stuff more and more. So please continue to give her feedback. Thanks again to Gerry and Miriam, and thanks everyone.